Hey, everybody, welcome back to another Disney podcast. This is our second attempt at opening this episode because Dave destroyed the first one. We are going to talk about some different news stories and one that's Disney related, but isn't even happening in a Disney park, isn't even happening in the state of Florida. And
even though there's only 2.5 months left for the rest of this year, we're going to take a look at what you can expect at Walt Disney World for the rest of the year. Let's do it. Boom.
This is another Disney podcast production.
Hey, man, it's been a couple of weeks.
In a minute.
And been a minute. How is Central Florida looking post hurricane? Are things feeling normal?
Yeah, everything's back to normal. I mean, I think all the flooding stopped for the rivers and everything. So I think we're back to normal. Most people have power back. Yeah. It's pretty good. It finally got cool. Like today, we were recording this on the 19th. So this is Wednesday, and it got cool last night. Like this morning, it was in the 50s.
Hold the phone.
Heck yeah. I wore a long sleeve shirt today, and I was happy about it.
I was going to say, you were like, Brandon said it's cool. So I was like, so it's 85 and like less humidity? Or?
No. I think the high today was 67.
Holy dang. That was only 7 degrees warmer than here in the 757.
Yeah. It was nice. So it's nice in Central Florida. We got like a week of that nice fall weather, and then we're back to like 88 next week. So
okay. Enjoy. It's going to be great.
Fun times.
Hey, so both of us have fumbled the ball with news and brews. So I have a mini Coke Zero that has about that much, 1/8 of the drink left in it if you're listening to us, if you're not watching us on YouTube. So that's joy. And Brandon, you have air, correct?
I have air. Okay, awesome. Air light once again. And it was funny.
One out for
it's funny because I'm looking at you drinking that, and anybody who's watching this show with us, like, it looks like you're a giant.
I am a giant.
Like you look like Andre the Giant with
this is a 2-liter can that I'm holding in my hand, 3 inches from the camera. It
just makes me giggle. Like I'm like a 4-year-old.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Okay. I said we had some kind of different and weirdly news. One of them is, I didn't say weirdly, but let's make it weird. All right. Okay. So the first one is Bee Palm.
Yeah.
There is something that you probably wouldn't go to that's in your old stomping grounds Halloween weekend. Well, the 28th through the 30th.
Okay.
In Baltimore, there's a Comic-Con, and maybe you do love Comic-Cons. I've known you for a long time. I don't ever think I've heard you say the word Comic-Con, so I don't think you've been to one. I've never been to one.
I've never been to one.
Nope. But what's crazy is there's not going to be 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Disney princesses are going to be at Comic-Con.
Okay.
So Jodie Benson, Judy Kuhn.
Okay.
Is it Kuhn? Yeah, I think it's Kuhn. Linda Larkin and Paige O'Hara. So if you don't know who that is Ariel, Pocahontas, Jasmine, and Belle are all going to be at Baltimore Comic-Con the 28th through the 30th.
Wow. Man,
that's pretty rad.
Man, had I known that the Little Mermaid was going to be at the Comic-Con, I may be a Comic-Con fan. I did see, I think I was watching TikTok, and I did see from some other Comic-Con in the country, like Jodie Benson was there, and she was singing Part of Your World, and she still sounds amazing.
Oh,
and
yes.
Just close your eyes and just think of Ariel. Maybe that's just me because I'm creepy and weird.
Yes,
but
100%.
Yeah. If she comes to one around Orlando, because I know they usually have one at the Orlando Orange County Civic Center, and I find out that the princesses are going to be there, especially Belle and Ariel, I might have to go check it out.
Yeah, it is. It was really cool. Way back in the day, because everything was back in the day pre-COVID, because that was 27 years ago now. Matthew and I and our daughter went to Disney for a 4-day, 5-day trip. Shocker. But we went for the Diz, or if you follow that show, podcast, whatever, but the Diz Unplugged, it was their 20th anniversary, and they rented out Epcot from like 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., something like that. And they had a 30-minute concert of Jodie Benson at the So I did get to hear her.
Nice.
We didn't hear Part of Your World, but we heard her sing, and then we just wanted to go play because we were at Epcot and there was 12 people there.
Yeah, the park.
I promise you, there was less than 3,000. It might have been 1,500 people, and it was just Future World. So, but we did get Illuminations
I was going to
included,
say,
which was
I think I
nuts.
remember.
It was
Yeah,
so
I remember
rad.
you. I think I remember you guys coming down and like how good of a deal it was.
Yeah.
Like so few people, and you got Illuminations, which was your favorite show.
Yes, it was.
So yeah, you got to see that. But yeah, I
Um,
have not seen
super
Jody
cool.
Benson do anything live. I would love to see that.
Yeah,
And
she still got it.
yeah, she still got it. So that's cool. Baltimore
Yeah.
Comic Con.
I know. So it is. I know it's like next week, but sorry, like, you know, it's a week from basically when this show releases. But I mean, if you're within driving distance, if you're 4 or 5 hours away, you got nothing going on, and you love to meet some real life Disney princesses, boom, here's
Boom.
your shot to get a 4-for-1.
a five-some, if you will.
I'm uncomfortable now.
Sorry. This is a family show. This is a family show.
Yes. Okay, next news story. What do you got?
Yeah, next news story. And this is one that's not obviously going to make many people happy, but one that we saw coming and one that we predicted probably should have happened to begin with. But if you haven't been living under a rock, you have seen that Walt Disney World has gone to variable pricing for Genie Plus and individual lightning lanes. Now, we've talked about this many times. And when we first saw that Genie Plus and individual lightning lanes were coming out, and we found out how much they were going to be,
Yeah.
we agreed that is way too low of a price. You know, $15 for Genie Plus. What's the benefit of not doing it? So this didn't really surprise me, but what did surprise me is that I think even at its most expensive, it only went up $7. Like the max was $22.
Oh, wow.
So
Right.
still not an exorbitant amount of money. It's only going to, family of 4, it's going to cost you $30 more to do it on a high volume day. But I was shocked that they made this move before the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Okay, so what is the range? Did they list the price range
They
total?
did not. They just said it's variable. So obviously it starts at 15. The most it's been is 22. I don't know that they put a cap on it and said how much the max is, because I do have a funny feeling that between Christmas and New Year's time, maybe after Thanksgiving, that it may get it up, that, it may go up to $30, $35. I would imagine during that time.
Okay. All right. I mean,
Yeah.
that's closer to where I thought it should live.
Yeah, that's what I thought. At 35, $40 a pop seems enough to make the average person, with a family of 4 or 5, think twice about spending
for sure
$200 extra to go to Magic Kingdom.
I mean, because it's still not, but I mean, that's pretty close to a buffet meal.
Yeah.
It's definitely the price for a kid for sure. Right.
Exactly.
So you're talking like a dining experience that could include characters is in that ballpark now for literally a ride or attraction.
Yeah, exactly.
So again,
so I found that interesting.
It's hard for me to cast doubt, judgment, or point fingers since I literally haven't been there since this has started. So obviously I haven't used it, but I don't for me being a Disney fan, and not right now, but like most years holding an annual pass and kind of going 3-4 times a year, it would be challenging for me to do it like for the trip. It would probably mostly land like, here's an attraction that's brand new to me that I haven't ridden yet. That's where I'm going to put my money. But like if it's crowded one day, well then I know how we roll. We'll find a churro, we'll get a Mickey bar, and we'll sit and point and laugh at people. We go enough that it's just like, I'm not going to stress out about, oh my gosh, there's 800,000 people in line. I'm like, let's go grab a curb and look at people.
That's right. Yeah, I'm perfectly happy with just people watching and just hanging in the parks. We've been to the parks probably 3 or 4 times here in the last month.
Yeah, y'all kind of picked it up. Yeah,
but we haven't ridden a thing. We've gone to the park and ridden nothing because, one, the lines are super long. It's super crowded at Disney right now, which is great for them financially. But it's a pain to try to get on an attraction. So I'm not going to pay $20.
What's nuts is we ought to do a show, or maybe we could do a show per park of how to go to insert name of park here and have an incredible experience and never ride a ride or go to an attraction.
Yeah.
Because that, like, there are people that do that. I mean, you
Yeah.
could do like, you could have all three sit down meals. Like in most parks, I think you'd be able to do that. Like, so you'd have a great culinary experience.
Yep.
Obviously with Epcot, like there's so many different ways to do it, but
Yeah.
I mean, it gets a little bit harder in Animal Kingdom. Hollywood Studios has enough restaurants, but we could do like eat around the world kind of a thing. But yeah, we should explore that
let's explore that,
because most people are like, right, you go to if you're like me, when I get home from Disney, most trips I need a vacation from my vacation.
Vacation. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. One of the most fun days we had, I think it was like 2020 fall, like parks had opened back up in July, and it was like a nice fall day. And Krista and I just went to the Magic Kingdom. We didn't do anything. We ate, like we had waffles at Sleepy Hollow, and then we went shopping at the Christmas shop, and then we went back to Gaston's and sat in there and had a cinnamon roll and LeFou's brew, and then we went over into the Storybook Circus and got like a Rice Krispie treat. We kind of just hung out in different places of the Magic Kingdom that you wouldn't normally hang out if you were on vacation trying to run. So you definitely can do that. I think you could even pull it off in Animal Kingdom, with Tusker House and things like that. And there's enough shows to see now that those have started to open back up. You definitely could do it. So yeah, we should definitely dive into that.
Would be like, because of course, like I know I have watched, listened to, read articles, seen videos of tons of like how to go to Walt Disney World and have the vacation of a lifetime and never step foot into a park. That's what I think makes Walt Disney World so unique. But like, I don't see a lot of people talk about like, if you go to a park, how can you have a like incredible day that's completely unique if you don't ride or experience any attractions? Well, that might be a fun topic to cover.
That would be
okay.
Fun. Yeah.
Let's see. I have another one that is let's see. It is not Walt Disney World related, but it is. That doesn't make any sense. Okay.
A twist.
For those of you who are heading to Disneyland anytime after October 26th, whether you are a WDW fan or not, or what, if you mostly go to Walt Disney World, but you're planning your next Disneyland trip, here it's all coming together now. After October 26th, Disneyland is introducing Magic Band Plus to the Disneyland park. So it will now exist. Now, we were talking about this before the show started, and that is like, I wasn't going to make it negative, so I'll just make a joke as how crazy is it that Disney missed an opportunity to make some extra money, right? Exactly. You would think and like the track record they've had lately, they would have a Magic Band Plus that worked at Walt Disney World. And then if you went to Disneyland, you'd have to buy the one that works at Disneyland. And that was a way for them to make 35, 40, 50 extra bucks, right? Yeah. Well, the cool thing is if you buy one at either park, they will work at either park. At least stateside. I don't even think Magic Band Plus is something in the rest of the world, but I thought that was kind of cool that it's that, like, because you guys will have one, and then once you guys visit Disneyland, like you can bring it with you, and boom, you can use it. So that's kind of cool. So, and it feels like Disneyland always gets stuff first, so it's kind of like, yeah, we got the Magic Band Plus.
Yeah, Disney World, we took it. Yeah.
So anyway, that's cool. Starting October 26th.
Yeah, I'm excited that Krista and I, now that we have one in Walt Disney World, obviously, if we ever make it to Disneyland, I can just strap it on my wrist and take it over there. And, I think that, and we've talked about this before, I think it really has to do with like Walt Disney World is like a world destination, whereas, Disneyland is more like a locals park and like a hardcore Disney fandom that's going to make that trek over to Disneyland. So I guess they figured like, hey, we're really not going to have to worry about the masses of millions of people buying it at Disney World and coming to not spend it, the money over here at Disneyland. So, they'll still make a little bit of money. I'm sure they'll have, specially themed Magic Band Pluses for Disneyland. Oh, yeah. So, like if you go there and you want the nice Disneyland one, you're still gonna spend the money. But I think it's just, it doesn't have the magnetic attraction that the world destination of Walt Disney World does. So I think that's
and you're talking 4 parks compared to 2, I guess. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Do they work at the water parks? I guess they do. I guess they would. But yeah, but if you're wondering, yes, it'll work at California Adventure and Disneyland parks. So There you go. Kind of cool. So October 26th. So within the next week or so,
October
they will-
26th.
They will launch.
They will launch. They will launch.
That's all the fun news that I had. Do you have one more?
I think I have one more, and you
Sweet.
know, I can hear the fervor growing. I can hear the people lining up and stomping. But it was announced this week that they are releasing a pass holder exclusive popcorn bucket. Now, we've seen with Figment, we've seen with the Mickey's Not So Scary, we've seen with the Zero popcorn bucket during the Halloween party. People go crazy for these popcorn buckets. So the teaser, I guess, that they released with the popcorn bucket shows that old style Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway style Mickey with the popcorn bucket. So I'm excited to see. They're going to be, I think there's only one location in each park that sells it. And there will be one at Disney Springs as well. So I'm interested to see, what kind of crowds line up for this, because obviously pass holders want anything that they can get that's pass holder and that's special for them. So I think it launches next week maybe, but I'm excited to see what that's going to be. I just think the frenzy over popcorn buckets is hilarious, and Disney does a fantastic job of building up the excitement. If we remember the Starbucks tumblers for the 50th anniversary,
Lord have mercy,
everyone had to have those fighting, shelves being broken, and now there's 1,000 of them in every gift shop. So and they've gone up $30 since the 50th anniversary. So I'm excited to see the popcorn bucket. It's always something cool to have as a pass holder that not the general public can't get. So I'm excited to see what that's going to look like, but I'm not going to stand in line for 3 hours for it.
No, well, I gotta say, as embarrassing as a grown man who has a ridiculous amount of specialized Walt Disney popcorn buckets, can I just be transparent? I was unbelievably underwhelmed. I don't think, if I'm an annual pass holder and I'm there, I'm going to say I don't get it. And mostly because all of the popcorn buckets that I have, none of them are their traditional round popcorn bucket. So when I saw it, I was like, really? But I get it. You're right. It doesn't matter. But here's the thing. I say that, but then they come out with any Figment or anything Epcot, and it's whatever pass holder t-shirt, gotta have it, gotta buy it, $40 getting it. So I understand that my rationale makes zero sense.
Exactly.
But I think I'm more into the specialized uniqueness of popcorn buckets, where this one is literally the paint on it is different.
Yeah.
But which is no different than a t-shirt. See, I can't even defend my own logic.
You're just starting to realize how ridiculous you sound when you say it out loud.
I'm going to work tomorrow and just raking my shelves behind my desk and throwing away all my popcorn buckets because I have no leg to stand on.
Nope.
Or I could just put them on eBay and make.
You can make
and probably take off the rest of the year because they go for ridiculous amounts. Yeah. Anyway, so I was underwhelmed. So I don't think you'll see Figment style lines for this.
No, I don't think so. But you never know, because
you're right.
Like I said, it's just something that not everybody can get. So,
and I promise you, week after next, they'll be on eBay for a ridiculous amount of money.
They will, and then 2 months from now, they'll be at the outlet at the Disney character warehouse and sold for $3 or something.
You know what? Speaking of something unique, I completely forgot to tell you this because I completely forgot it. Did I say something okay, I'm going to bring you full screen. Brandon has his Epcot 40th anniversary poster back there.
Yes.
Which a buddy got. Did I make a big deal about wanting that? I can't remember if I was man, that'd have been so dope. Anyway, it was not return addressed. I got one of those in the mail.
Wow.
I have no idea who sent it. I have no idea where it came from. I have no idea if it was a listener. I have no idea. No idea. Because I don't think my address is out there.
Yeah, you did not tell. You did not tell me that.
It came. I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago.
It's
really, over there. I don't want to.
You really got some. You got some pixie dust.
Yes.
Somebody knows what's going on. There we go.
I feel like there's a little bit of iridescent in the poster.
It's very iridescent.
If you sent that, thank you. It did not go unnoticed. I will be going to Michael's this weekend and finding a frame for it and hanging it in my office.
Nice.
I need to put a picture. Like my office is, it's grown man full of Disney stuff in his
Take
office.
a picture.
That's all you need to know.
We'll post it on our Facebook page.
There
We
you
need
go.
we need to start doing obviously more on our Facebook page
gosh.
anyway, because we're super like
It's
we
bad.
are not social media gurus by
No.
any stretch of the imagination.
We are two
It's-
grumpy old
it
men
is-
talking about
It
this.
is hard enough for Dave and I to sign on every week and talk to you people. Like the brain power is not there to update a
That's right.
Facebook page every day, but we're going to try to get better. So send a picture or post a picture on the Facebook of your
So we love
grown
it.
man's
We love
office.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got some rest of the year. Now I know we're a little bit late to rest of the year, but you know what, people, life. Like Brandon went to a wedding, then a hurricane came through, and then we missed last week because life, you know, it is. So like we meant to do this like 4 weeks ago. So
Yes.
it would have been like a good 3.5 months left in the year. But I think it still works because nothing drastically changed within the last 2 weeks anyway, or
Yeah.
last month. And so I want to go through kind of like, so to jump into our topic of what to expect at Walt Disney World the rest of the year. Now, a lot of this for me will be mainly focused on Magic Kingdom, because I feel like that's in the holidays that we're in, that's where the most of it is at. But I definitely want to talk a little bit about Epcot, especially when it comes to New Year's Eve. So anyway, we'll get there. So this will drop, or this episode you're listening to it, if you listen to it day one, will be October 21st. So even though like Halloween is almost here, I mean straight up almost here, there are still, I'm going to count them right now. There'll be one tonight on February 21st. 1, 2, 3, 4.
February.
5,
It's
6.
not February. It's
Sorry.
October. Oh my gosh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are still seven left. Seven, not so scary. Now, what's crazy is if you go to the website, I don't think I've ever seen this. And so I have questions. This is where I wanted to unpack this just a little bit. Every single one of them are sold out. Not what's left. Yes, what's left, the next 7 days, the next 7 parties, because are sold out.
Yeah.
But if you go to the website, every date listed as sold out.
Mhm.
I don't think that has ever happened in the history of these parties. So here's the question. I think I know the answer, but here's the question. Is it demand or is it smaller number of people?
So here's the thing. I think, well, it's a combination, I think, of demand. Obviously Mickey's Not So Scary was gone for the last 2 years. So there's those people who maybe that was a tradition for their family. They came here at that time of the year and they're like, hey, we're not going to pay for the Boo Bash or whatever that was called the last couple of years that are super excited to be back. So I think one is actually the demand. Disney bumped up the price. I think it's $200 a person now, which is absolutely ridiculous, but people are paying it. And two, we had the hurricane in there. That's why there's a couple more parties this week than there would be.
Okay.
They moved some of those hurricane days to this week, but still, I think there's a pent up demand. I don't think, based on what I've seen on Facebook and what I've seen wait time wise, I don't think that it's less people. It looks like it's more crowded than it's ever been.
Wow.
I've heard people say that they couldn't even stand in line to get candy because it was an hour to wait for candy in the line.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
I don't think it's limiting people. I just think the demand is so high. It was gone for 2 years, and that's people are like, hey, this is what you should do at Disney during the Halloween season.
Phew. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that's so good for them, right? I mean, making money hand over fist. I thought for certain it's going to be, there's way less people that are allowed to be in because they've never all sold out. It was always like Halloween sold out, and usually the first one, because all of the YouTubers, bloggers, websites would all come, experience the first party, write about it, make a video about it, so everybody could say, this is your party, and here's all the special food, blah blah blah. But outside of that, you could almost get any date that you wanted, and it's already sold out. Okay, so that is continuing through October 31st, obviously. And good point that you brought up that the storm has added some of those dates. I mean, it still stinks if people were coming and couldn't go. But I do know they refunded everybody. I do
Yeah.
know that for sure, that Disney was cool about that, because what do you do during the natural disasters? Not a lot anybody has control over. And then snap your fingers. Wait, that didn't work. Snap your fingers. November 1st, it is Christmas. And it's Christmas everywhere.
It is Christmas everywhere.
It does take the resorts maybe a good week, maybe not even. And then so after that, so the park magically transforms overnight. If you haven't watched one of the, I think it's on Disney Plus. I know you can find it on YouTube because I saw it last week. How Disney transitions from
the holiday services people.
Super rad show to kind of see how they do that overnight, which is funny because we talked about last episode how Dollywood like closes for multiple days.
We're just going to shut it down and just take our time.
I get it. They probably don't have the resources and manpower, but still, that's wow. They just shut it down.
Yeah, I'd love to be on that. Like, if I could find a way to like be on that, like go to the maybe not now that I have a newborn, but like be on the shift that's like 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. that like comes in and does that stuff at night. That would be super cool, just to be in the parks when no one else is in there, just making magic for people. But yeah, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party will start immediately. So. As we talked about with Halloween Party, you can expect for most of these parties to sell out. The first couple, maybe the first 5 or 6 have already sold out, and tickets are running low for most of the other ones. So again, this is no different than the Halloween Party. They have the same price point. You get cookies instead of candy, and I think the crowd levels are going to be the same. So if you are coming to Walt Disney World for the rest of 2022, you can expect limited Magic Kingdom availability, obviously, because of parties. And then you can expect super packed parties if you decide or lucky enough to get a ticket to one of them.
I agree. Here's the interesting thing, because now that we're transitioning over to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, the first 3 dates sold out. I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and we're shocked, but there's also like there's November 22nd is sold out, which that's not random because that's like Thanksgiving week, so that but December 18th is sold out.
Random, just a random day.
Super random. And so basically, to give you an idea, if you haven't already bought a ticket, the first one you can buy is November 14th, and there are only 3 dates left that are $149. That's going to be the 14th, the 15th, and the 17th of November. Then it jumps up to 1 week only, November 18th. It's $159. Then November 20th, it's $179. And then it dips back down the 27th. It's $169. And it stays there all the way until December 9th. Then it's $179. And then, like Brandon said, the magic $200 number is December 20th and the 22nd. So still plenty of dates if you're planning on going for the holidays. And what is your favorite thing about that party?
My favorite thing is I think it's Mickey and Minnie's Christmas time. I'm a fireworks person. Like, I'm a nighttime spectacular person. So anytime there's a fireworks show that's not enchantment, is good with me. And anytime it's a unique experience, that you're not going to be able to see unless you go to a party, is my favorite. So I love the Mickey and Minnie's Christmas time fireworks. I also like the cookie stroll. I like cookies. They're not the best cookies, but there's just something about cookies that make you think about Christmas. So I think it used to be that I liked Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party more than the Christmas party, but I think now I'm starting to go towards the Christmas party. Christmas in general is my favorite time of year. And I think now living here, going to the parks all the time, like we talked about before, like it's Halloween from August
that's a long
to November. Like that's a long time. So like, I love Halloween, but like, I don't want to be seeing Halloween pumpkins. Like, I don't want to see that in August. Like, that doesn't, like, I'm not thinking Halloween. So Christmas is like condensed into this 5-week period that feels like a more special time. And it's really, I like it more because it's all over. It's every park, right? Like
Yeah. Yep.
like Hollywood Studios, they do the projections for Christmas time on the Hollywood Tower Hotel, and there's Sunset Boulevard is decorated and it snows there. Halloween is really a Magic Kingdom.
It really is. You're right.
So that's what I like more about Christmas holiday time at Walt Disney World, is that it's everywhere. It's in the resorts. The resorts have a little bit of Halloween decorations, but like the Grand Floridian puts out the gingerbread house, and then like the giant trees at Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge. And so I love that part of the season because the whole resort gets in on it.
Yeah, you're right. It is much more inclusive as far as Walt Disney World as a whole. So I'll give you that. Like I will say my two favorite experiences when I go, they're always a must do, are both of these parties. Not how they were like in like in pandemic times, like that was not my jam, but how they are like in their original intent until they change it and they're always making like subtle changes. But there's really two experiences that do it for me, and they're both involved with the parades. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the specialty fireworks, that's great, but the parades are like incredible. And obviously my ridiculous undying love for the Haunted Mansion is when the dancers that come through, just the way that they're decorated and how they look, so ghostly. And then the graveyard workers with shovels
and the sparks.
Oh my, there is nothing like it. But then I say that, but then when you turn back to Christmas and the Christmas parade, I absolutely love the marching toy soldiers, because you can hear, like, they're not just like, oh, these fully decked out costumes and then like they're walking with their Nike shoes underneath. They are clickety clacking down Main Street, and it is like, it's so unique, and I know I will bring back some fond memories and ruffle some feathers. Ooh. But also there was nothing like the Christmas lights at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, the Osborne family lights. Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me? That was so incredible.
Yes.
I can't even process, like, is what they have now better? Yes. Do they make more money out of it? Yes. But couldn't they do, like, why couldn't they have done that down Sunset?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's kind of a blank canvas.
Cool.
Anyway.
And I only saw it once, but it was awesome. And so Disney donated most of those lights. There's something down here called Give Kids the World. Right? And so they used to have a village. It moved away from the village because now after COVID, it's gone back to its original intent, which is like, sick families come and stay there. And that's, where they have their vacation. But this will interest you because I know you used to be a pass holder. This year it is switching up and they are moving all of those lights to H2O Water Park.
No.
So they're gonna do
have a pass.
Yeah, they're gonna Give Kids the World village, but they're gonna deck out the whole water park in the lights. So that's where it's gonna be this year. So I thought of you, and like, because when you guys came on vacation and you bought a day but got the whole year, and I was like, every time I drove by, I was like, Dave is a season pass holder to the H2O Water Park, and he's never coming back.
Coming back.
But yeah, that's where they're doing it this year. So that's a lot closer than the old one was.
Oh, I would definitely do that.
I might go over there, but it's crazy. You got to take like shuttle buses and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
so
we'll
see what happens
over there.
But yeah, I miss the Osborne family lights at Hollywood Studios. I wish they would have found, like, you could put that in any other park, like, and it would be awesome.
Yeah, it'd have been
tear down the whole like Star Wars docking bay side and just put them over there.
Preach. The dead end of death.
Exactly.
Animation Courtyard, the dead end of death. Okay, so we've got another 7 parties that are sold out anyway, but if you're going within the next 10-ish days, you're going to get the rest of Halloween.
Yep.
I did it during COVID. I did it my favorite way that I've done it yet is I came and I got there and it was Halloween, and then the next day was Christmas. So I got to see the changeover. That was pretty wild. That was the day that I spent like with your wife
Yes.
at Magic Kingdom all day, and that was the first time when they were doing the cavalcades, and they had changed it over to Christmas.
I think that's when we stayed at the
super
fort.
fun.
Was that the day?
Yeah.
Was that when we stayed at Fort Wilderness?
I believe so.
Yeah,
that was
I
a
think so.
fun trip.
That was a fun
Which
time.
also good to see them back open again. Like, yay.
Yeah.
Good recovery, good quick turnaround.
It was definitely I think it was closed for maybe 2 weeks, and obviously it was a safety thing with trees and flooding and things like that. But yep, good to see they're back open, and that leads us, one of the best things at Fort Wilderness that reopened. We didn't really talk about that, and then it happened in the summertime. It reopened on June 23rd, but I don't know how we didn't talk about it. But the Hoop-de-Doo review opened again after COVID. So if you're going the rest of the year, that one thing you can expect is that will be packed.
Yeah.
It is one of the most popular experiences, dining experiences, theater experiences, whatever you want to say on Disney property. But if you can try to get over to Fort Wilderness and check out the Hoop-de-Doo review, it is a time you will not forget.
I know I've never done it. And when I tell people, they're like, what? And I'm like, I know. 'Cause it's like, I guess it still counts even though it stops. But before it stopped, it was the longest running stage show in American history, or maybe even in the world. I don't know. And so, but I imagine, regardless, the whole world shut down. So I imagine they still hold that record. I don't know how the records work like that. Like I feel like now it should just stand because screw you, we get to choose. Okay, so here's one thing that's worth talking about. So if you're going. And you're going at any time within the rest of the year, and you can't make one of these parties because the date's sold out, or let's just be real, it costs too much for you and your family to go. I would consider doing this. Brandon highlighted. I've never seen it, but it doesn't matter. Like I've never heard someone not say that and then immediately not freak out about how amazing it is. Okay, so. And to put it into perspective, when you think of Walt Disney World as a whole, right? Like the entire property. That by far is the most popular thing that's not at a theme park, hands down. And so that is definitely it's on my bucket list. But it's definitely a do not miss, especially if you were like, if it's kind of how, for the best way I know how to put it is maybe you can turn a lemon into a lemonade. Like maybe you're going and you're like, dang it, we are going and we didn't realize there was the Halloween party, but go do this. Go take that money earmarked for something that maybe you weren't able to do, and go do that. It's well worth it. And plus then you can ride the boat back there and back, which is super fun.
Yeah, the boat is definitely fun. Yeah, 100%.
So and then I think that leads us, I mean, obviously we talked about the Christmas party, but then that leads us into, and I do not believe they've announced anything yet, but New Year's week. I don't know how else to really say it, because the last party is December 22nd. That's super early to me. I feel like they could run it all the way up until like
New Year's,
the 30th at least, right? Yeah. And like that's just another way to make $200 more a person. And I feel like in the past it has run later.
I thought that maybe it ran, but to the middle of that week between Christmas and New Year's. Again, you have people who are probably anybody who comes to Disney for that Christmas week, which is still tons of people, are going to shell out the money to go to that party. So I thought for sure it went longer than those couple days before Christmas, but maybe not.
That's I mean, it is what maybe they're just like the influx of people is not worth it to shut down the whole park to X amount of people. I get both sides of it. Yeah. I also feel like from a business decision, how do you say no at $200 a head if you know that could sell out? But I mentioned this, obviously New Year's Eve at Magic Kingdom is nuts. Right. I mean, it's also incredible from everybody that I've heard that like Matthew's done it, like he's loved it. It's if you think the rest of the year is a lot of people, there's nothing like Thanksgiving and July 4th and New Year's Eve. There's nothing crowd wise. Nothing. Like thankfully, in the past, we'll just imagine that they're going to do the same thing. Is they've duplicated that, especially at Magic Kingdom, 2 nights in a row. It's like they do the countdown on the 30th and they do it on the 31st. Yeah. I don't know if they're doing that this year, but they have done that in the past. I'm even in closer to COVID last year, they did that. I'm pretty sure. So it's a way for you to get to experience it, even though it's the day before. Who's going to know? Like, I mean, you get to you're on vacation anyway. Who cares?
Exactly.
But I have seen plenty of videos, especially in the past few years, that Epcot is where it's at.
Yeah, yeah, and I read something I think last week, and they were like the fireworks show at Epcot is unbelievable because what they do. I mean, if you Magic Kingdom's great, obviously it's got the fireworks. They do the fireworks, the countdown, but Epcot, like the experience of celebrating New Year's around the world for each country is something that cannot be duplicated. So from what I've heard, I've never been there because Epcot apparently is a madhouse and it takes 2 or 3 hours to get out of the parking lot at the end of the night. But they go around to each country and like show a little thing about how they celebrate New Year's, shoot some fireworks off, and then it ends at midnight with the show for America. So
Yes,
I've heard it's amazing. I would love to experience it somehow. I just don't know that I can fight the crowd.
well, yeah, I get that. We're old, man.
We're old, man. We're
I
definitely
will
old.
say some of the videos that I've seen, like up in Future World, what like I know that's all torn up now, but like there would be like this DJ that was just going off and like crazy light show. I mean, it felt like holy crap, this is a party, right?
Yeah.
And then I didn't even think about the fireworks show. I was more like it just feels like more of a party atmosphere. And yes, it's crowded, but nothing like Magic Kingdom.
No,
However, it's hard to get out of Epcot. We'll just call it what it is.
It's definitely
So,
hard.
Here's your cheat sheet. We're going to give away a cheat sheet. Should we do it?
Do it. Do it.
I wouldn't recommend this on New Year's Eve, but what you need to do is book a reservation at one of the surrounding hotels, at whether that would be the Yacht Club, the Boardwalk, Swan and Dolphin, or any of the eateries that take reservations. Your day that you're going to Epcot, I would highly recommend eating there, because I'm just going to say, when you're eating, especially at a resort, you go in with a reservation and they'll scan your thing showing that you actually have a reservation. They tell you where to go and park. And then you just leave your vehicle there for the rest of the day and go enjoy Epcot.
Yeah.
So that way, when you leave, you're not like heading toward the buses. You're not heading toward the main parking lot. Yeah, there's still a lot of people filtering out that way, but I would say it's like a fourth, a quarter of the amount of people that are heading toward the front of the park. So that's our little secret. I would not recommend it during any holiday time, whether it be July 4th or any of the rest of the year. But like if you're just going, that's a great, I personally love exiting out the back. It's just so it's easier.
There's a nice walk.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's a nice walk. You can go explore the boardwalk on the way back,
Right.
and grab a piece of pizza, grab some ice cream, sit out
That's
there right by the water. Yeah, like you said, during the holiday times, they're going to be super strict about,
Yes.
they're going to give you, I think they started, I saw during, it might have been 4th of July, they started giving out like colored placards that go in your windshield.
Oh, like you hang, okay.
Yeah, so basically like, if your reservation's between 12 and 1, you have a blue placard you put in your window, and that means you can stay there till 3. You know what I mean? And then if you still have a blue one and somebody walks around and sees it, they may tow your car. So that may happen again.
Are they currently doing that now?
They're not doing it right now, because last time we went, we parked there and we were fine. But I think as we're getting closer towards Halloween, obviously, anytime there's a party, they're super strict at the monorail resorts as far as parking is concerned. We get towards Thanksgiving, we get towards Christmas, it's going to be less and less easy to park at there. Now, there is another, and don't tell Disney that I told you this, but there is another way around it. Technically, if you wanted to pay $33 to valet your car, you could have them park it, go do your thing, come back whenever to pick up your car, and it's valet. So that may be
shut the front door.
That may be another little way around it. That was amazing when they still had Tables in Wonderland. So obviously, if anybody knows how Tables in Wonderland worked, valet parking at the deluxe resorts was free as long as you brought your receipt that says you used Tables in Wonderland. So back in the day, we probably spoiled it for everyone, but we would go valet the car, go to, a park, come back, stop at the Enchanted Rose or whatever that thing's called up there, grab a beer, and then take the receipt out there. It was free, and we pick up our car. So, that's probably why we
need to do because I don't care anymore. We need to do a give our secrets away, because I have like you mentioned that, and I was like, oh, I have another one. Oh, I have another one and another one. Let's just do it. There's so many ways. Like another one would be, for example, like we've done this. I don't think I've done this with you, but I know I did it with either Matthew or at least my kids. Like we drove and went to Pop Century. We were like, yeah, we're just here on vacation. We're touring all the resorts. Go in, park at Pop Century, and got on the sky ride and went onto a park. Like, just to not have to deal with going to a park and parking, like, and leaving at the end of the night. We just drove the sky ride lift?
The Skyliner? The Skyliner?
My favorite.
Is that what you're talking about? The Skyliner?
Yeah, clearly, I like, now they're like, he's never ridden that. This guy doesn't even know the name of stuff. He's an idiot.
I mean, you haven't been to Disney World in over a year, so maybe
maybe
it's erased from your brain as to what your secret. If we do our secret show, yours is going to be don't buy an annual pass. That's going to be your secret. As
You'll come back, I promise.
You can tell people I'm bitter about the fact that Dave has not visited me at Walt Disney World.
I know.
In a long time. I haven't seen Dave in Florida since February.
I know.
And it probably won't be until February again.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will come and do adult beverages and weekends away that have nothing to do with Disney.
Exactly. Oops. That'll be our next podcast. That'll be on the Patreon. If you want to hear what happens on that trip, come on over to the Patreon.
We don't record the whole thing live.
That we don't really even do. So
Ever. All right, man. I think this is good. I think this is good.
This is good.
I do want to talk about, like, for those that have made it this far, let's share what we're doing next show, because Brandon had a great idea, and I don't know how to swing it. Well, let me say it the way that it's processing in my mind, so we say it correctly, so it doesn't sound weird. Okay, so Brandon had the idea of basically, I'll just give the Cliff Notes version. What is Disney doing right and Universal doing wrong, and what is Universal doing right and Disney doing wrong? I think that's great. Now, I will say it's going to be very difficult for me to be open-minded, as I've never been to the other one, but with all of the impending things happening at the other one, I am beyond intrigued, and I have a little human in my house who is stupid excited for what they're building over there. And we talked about this a little bit around the D23, like, missed opportunity. Like, I mean, we're not going to go into detail, but they're building a whole new freaking park.
Yes.
Like, Disney announced some blue sky ideas. Big difference.
And they're building that whole new park in probably less time than it takes to build a copycat roller coaster that exists in another Disney park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason I came up with this idea is because there was a story that came out. I think it was on Blog Mickey. I think it was on some of the other sites, and it was also in the just general Orlando news. But for the first time ever, Universal's attendance was greater than Walt Disney. Now, the only park that it was not greater than was Magic Kingdom. It's just a huge park. A lot of people come to it. But every other Disney park lost out in attendance to the park down the street. So that's
did
why.
It win as a whole in numbers, even including Magic Kingdom?
Nope.
Yeah, that'd be hard. Yeah.
No, that'd be hard. So it's just Universal has never had more attendance than any of the Disney parks. Right. So now they're starting to edge that way. So 3 out of 4 Disney parks were now beaten out by Universal. So that just, that led me to think, like, hey, what's Disney doing right? Like, why do people still continue to come to Disney? What are they doing wrong? What's driving people to Universal? And then what is Universal doing that Disney maybe could learn from that'll get more people back? So we will definitely tackle that next show, because I think it'll be a good and spirited discussion. We may even bring in a guest for that one, because there's a lot of people that might want to.
I have an idea of somebody who just partnered with that resort for a concert that might be good and might have some insight as to, and I know that he's been there a lot. So I think that'd be great. That's be good. Yeah, you got me excited. I'm ready. Like, because we debated whether to do that this episode or this one. Well, I was like, well, we kind of running out of time because we waited so long to do the what's left to do this year. But I wanted more time to prep for that.
Yeah. A little bit of prep for that, because I think it's going to be that's going to be a good show, because I've been to both. I've experienced both. And there's definitely some things that Disney does awesome that Universal does not, but there are some things that Universal does way better that I think Disney can learn from.
All right, man. This is
All right,
fantastic.
dude.
Good
Yeah,
to see your face.
good to see your face. Maybe I'll see it again sometime soon.
Yeah. Sometime soon.
Sometime soon.
Until next time, happy travelers.
Heck yeah.
Bicycle.
Peace.